A few months ago, Calling All Heroes Rising had its third minor, where Lavalillies and Timeless Nightmare would go to a seventh map in an insanely long series. Lavalillies eventually came out on top, and Nightmare would go on to disband, but that series got me thinking. What if I dropped out of retirement and helped Lavalillies with their final run? So that's exactly what I did. Lavalillies made it to the grand finals once again, but this time they were a completely different team, and that's how they made one of the fastest broadcasted grand finals runs in Overwatch history. And today, we're going to look at how they did it. I've gotten requests in the past to cover a lower level match, and this is one of the few times that I will. Rising only allows you to have one player above Masters 5, every other player must remain below that mark. During the weeks leading up to the tournament, I worked with the team in practices and with a few VODs, and they improved significantly. Reaching the grand finals wasn't a problem for them at all, advancing through the Swiss stage easily and only dropping a single map in the bracket. Because Lavalillies advanced to the grand finals through the upper bracket, they also had the first map choice, and the obvious choice was Illios. Lavalillies are a dive-oriented team. I took this into account when working with them. When possible, we want to take dive mirrors, something that most teams in Rising struggle with, and Illios is the best place to do that. The first submap is Lighthouse, which is optimal for Lilies, who are running the default Ana Brig Winston composition with Ashe Tracer. Tracer is a versatile tool in this map, and Lilac will play a key role in our win on this map, while Soup on Ashe will act as a part of our Ana Brig core and stack on the high ground. Fruit Salad are running a strange composition with a brawly Juno Break backline and a dive-oriented frontline consisting of D.Va, Tracer, and Echo. This wasn't concerning though, and Lily's set up as normal to start. Blood Bunny sets up on top of Cage and then moves to execute a perfect hit on Salad's backline. Mothfia ends up completely split and falls first. Lilies now have the advantage. In the backline, Lilies are able to deal with the D.Va hit. Tycho first uses her shield to protect Instinct and Soup from the Echo Stickies. After that, her shield management is relatively poor, although this is a common mistake at this level. Tycho blocks the Stickies again, luckily, and then also manages to save Instinct, who had fallen low to the D.Va dive. Tycho swings, and Instinct sleeps Fuzzy Dough's D.Va. Blood Bunny has returned, and she throws her bubble on top of her backline to help them brawl and finish this fight. Although Zythrend kills Instinct, Tycho is able to brawl with Fuzzy Dough and force her away. Fruit Salad are unable to trade, so Lavalillies win the first fight. I was honestly really surprised at the compositional choice from Fruit Salad. The backline and frontline were almost counterintuitive. Either way, we had a compositional advantage, and we were gonna use that.
Their backline can't follow their frontline's hits. That Brig Juno can't do any. Oh, what is Blood Bunny doing there?
For the next fight, Lilac sets up behind the fence on the high ground while Blood Bunny sits close to the high ground, ready to jump. Instinct opens with a nade, although it does not land, and then Blood Bunny and Lilac immediately jump on Mothfia's Brig, getting the kill before they could react. From there, Blood Bunny can just drop on top of Monteneva, securing the full wipe on Salad's backline. Tycho again keeps her own backline alive and deflects the counter dive with a perfect whip shot on Fuzzy Dough's D.Va, and shielding Zythrend's Stickies. Fuzzy Dough attempts to dive again, but is met with a sleep from Instinct, and Tycho hits her with a whip shot on the way out. Blood Bunny is then met with focus fire from Fuzzy Dough and Zythrend, and dies, but Lilac immediately trades Zythrend, and even manages to secure a key D-mech on Fuzzy Dough's D.Va. Fuzzy Dough has to take the Walk of Shame off the map to reset her mech, and that buys Lilies at least an extra 15% capture progress. Lilac sets himself up on a little high ground spot on the edge of the map with a pulse in hand and waits. Fruit Salad switch up their backline composition over to Kiriko Lucio, a backline that works much better with their D.Va dive. When Salad make their initial rotation into the cage, Lilac drops down, landing a pulse on Zythrend. Fuzzy Dough loops around to hit Lily's backline, and although she eats the sleep, she fails to eat the nade and is forced away. Instinct then lands a cross-map shot on Hostile, while Lilac demechs Fuzzy Dough. Lilies win the fight, and they are one away from victory, with 4 ultimates ready to go. Fruit Salad attempt to rotate straight towards the point, but our setup was perfect. Blood Bunny and Lilac drop from above while Instinct throws the nade. Soup also immediately uses the bob, which allows Lilac to move in and kill Hostile's Tracer early on. Instinct also uses the nano on Blood Bunny early. She jumps in and instantly deletes Zythrend's Echo copy, taking her out before she could escape. Blood Bunny keeps the pace, using Primal to kill Monteneva, and Lavalillies take the first round of Illios 100-0.
Plenty of ticks going to be displayed. Good cleave coming through early from Blood Bunny here. Primal Rage is prepared. Going to be a good old dive duo. The good old days brings a tear to me eyes. Both Diva and Winston will grace Fruit Salad. Scytheren's already down though, unable to get their own Primal. Blood Bunny still holding on to hers. And well, everyone lines on up for a slapping in from the Blood Bunny. A nice 9-0 surely here for Lavalillies Rising as Illios starts off with Lily dominating.
Something I worked with Lavalillies extensively on was using ultimates first, and timing with these engagements based on the positioning of the opponent. As soon as Fruit Salad entered that key kill box exiting the Mega Hallway out onto point, we used Bob, and then Nano, and then Primal, and Rally. We used each ultimate, one after the other, and the first ultimate was perfectly timed. You don't want to give your opponent time to use their ultimates, or time to breathe while they set up on point. Lilies kept the pressure on Salad with perfect ult timing, and because of that, they won easily. For the second submap Well, Lavalillies have a bit of a weakness. I originally wanted them to run the Ana Lucio Winston composition to start, a common choice from teams such as Toronto Defiant and Crazy Raccoon. It allows you to run dive compositions even if your opponent is on Brawl composition, which is a concern because Brawl is playable on Well. Unfortunately, Tycho's hero pool is limited. She's actually just a flex support player who's really good at Brig, so she cannot play Lucio. For reference, Lucio and Brig are main support heroes. If that's confusing, I have a video on the topic. The best solution was to start on our own default Brawl composition, Junker Queen, so that we could beat opposing Brawl compositions easier if we ran into them. Fruit Salad decided to stick with the dive, going with a Winston composition that is actually surprisingly decent against our JQ comp. Echo Genji is a little awkward, but both play very well into Juno Brig, and Kiri Lucio backline, with the Winston, is quite good, although not as strong as the Ana Lucio variant most of the time. Lilies had an awkward split in the first fight, with Blood Bunny and Cage on the low ground while the rest of Lilies were up on the high ground. Honestly, for first fight, we should have just made the rotation into Cage as a team. It's easiest to do that during this first fight since the dive composition can't immediately dive you in the first few seconds. The split from Lilies creates an opportunity for Salad, and Fuzzy Dough takes it, jumping straight in and dropping a perfect bubble. The follow-up from Salad was swift and effective, and they easily take the first fight. This is where Lilies make a mistake. Remember, if we can force a dive mirror, we will always take it. But in this case, even though our opponent has essentially gifted it to us, we didn't fully swap composition over to dive. Our next fight was much better, although not perfect. First, Lilac moves over to Tracer. We primarily run the Genji to deal with Juno Brig Brawl compositions, so against dive, Tracer is optimal. Fuzzy Dough's first dive target is Soup, and Fuzzy Dough uses both Bubble and Leap for this hit. This was really good for us because the rest of Lilies rotate into the cage for free under essentially no pressure. Soup unfortunately dies to Zythrin's focusing beam, but Lilac immediately finds some trades. First, they kill Mothfia, who is left behind by Salad, and then Monteneva's Kiriko right afterwards. In just a moment, Lilac has removed Salad's support line. Lavalillies cap with 41% for Fruit Salad. When it comes to where we take fights, what I had us also work on was pressuring opponents before they reach the point. This more so went for Flashpoint, which we will talk about later, but also applies to Control. Lower ranked teams tend to like to play on point more, and kind of just let their opponent walk to the point. You will notice higher level teams, on defense, go for much more aggressive hits and take fights off the point more often. This fight is a decent example of that. Blood Bunnies starts by pressuring Fuzzy Dough's Winston, and as a simple rule of thumb, a Winston who has no spare HP can't dive, so if you keep the opponent's Winston low, they can't hold space, and your backline is free to do whatever they want. Blood Bunny gets Fuzzy Dough to half HP and uses the knife to prevent her from reaching the backline. This forces Monteneva to use Suzu, and then Lilac finishes Fuzzy Dough shortly afterwards. Salad's DPS do make a good play though, wrapping around the flank and killing Tycho, a decent trade. The fight enters a bit of a stalemate for a while, and both teams recover their missing players. Once Fuzzy Dough returns, Monteneva uses the Kitsune and Fruit Salad aggress. To start, Instinct Speedring was pretty bad and kind of useless, which places Tycho's Brig in danger. It is possible Tycho could have survived this dive though. She didn't need to walk to the opposite side of Cage and split herself from her team, and she also would have had Shield Bash to continue to kite away. It was possible for her to live, but still difficult. Instinct was next up, and Fuzzy Dough is able to take her out of the fight after a quick chase. Lavalillies have lost their support line, but haven't lost this fight just yet. Fuzzy Dough commits Primal, which is honestly good for Lilies. Even if we lose this fight, they'd still be using 3 ultimates compared to us only using our Pulse Bomb. Liloct blinks onto Monteneva, forcing his TP. Soup finishes the kill with a Rail Shot. Liloct is then able to kill Zythrin using the Mini to refill HP. Lilies realize this fight is winnable again, and Blood Bunny uses the Rampage. This was a little awkward and only hits Fuzzy Dough's Primal. Fuzzy Dough had dealt with Soup's Sojourn and Blood Bunny after the Rampage. Liloct is still alive though, and Lily's supports have returned. First, Liloct kills Fuzzy Dough, who was already low, recalling to live. For a moment, Fruit Salad plays slow to stabilize, and both teams recover most of their players. Lavalillies remain in control of the point. As soon as Fruit Salad jump, Lilies don't hesitate and use Orbital Ray and Rally. Fuzzy Dough is able to eliminate Tycho's Rally with the help of Zythrin, but Blood Bunny shuts down Hostile's Blade with the orbital damage, and then jumps onto the backline, assisting with the kill on Monteneva. From here, Soup makes the final winning play with her Overclock.
Fruit Salad are only just now getting their foot back in the door, and they're gonna have to invest if they want to stay in there.
Blade and Barrier could be on the cards. Instinct draws out. Oh my goodness, Hostile barely got the call out before they were stuffed into the locker. This ends now proclaims Soup, and indeed it could, as Lavalillies set on 99%. Oh, Fuzzy Dough, the shield is down the well. It's swallowed up by the holes of grease. And that's going to be Fruit Salad scuppered here on Illios. Map 1 goes to Lavalillies Rising.
Okay, good job, good job. If they give us Dive Mirror, though, just take it, okay?
Yeah.
That's free. That's free for us. Good job.
The second map is Shambali Monastery, Fruit Salad's pick. I have to give them credit for this choice. It makes sense to pick Escort first, and it prevents Lilies from choosing Watchpoint Gibraltar later on, which is one of our best maps because it allows us to force a dive mirror. Shambali is a brawl map, so now it's time for some Juno Brig brawl compositions. You may have noticed that we used the Junker Queen composition as our default. This was inspired by NRG's Junker Queen composition, which they used to obtain 4th place at the Stockholm Finals, in a tournament full of Malga. Before I joined the team, Lavalillies were trying to run a Malga composition, but Blood Bunny doesn't play Malga, and the team generally felt uncomfortable with the composition, so I immediately had them switch to JQ. For reference, this match was played a few days after Hazard's official release. It was unclear how strong he really was, and there wasn't really any time to experiment or practice with the Hazard compositions. For the DPS lineup, I decided to keep it simple with Soj Genji, especially with the Soj buffs that had dropped the week of the tournament. I also bet on the Malga composition weakening with the patch, which it did. When determining what composition you're going to run in a tournament, you need to keep patches in mind. You won't always know what will be buffed or nerfed, but there are often safe assumptions that you can make. We chose to start on defense, and for Shambali, I worked with Lilies on a strategy that is very effective in this meta, spawn holding. Holding the Shambali spawn is a common and effective strategy that was almost always used when Shambali was played in the OWCS finals. If you hold for at least 1 minute, the spawn hold is worthwhile, and it also grants you an easy setup for your second fight. The round begins, and Blood Bunny immediately swings out to stop Cart and pressure Salad. Soup takes an angle from the right side, and when Zythrin attempts to contest it, Soup throws the Disruptor onto the ground and takes her out of the fight. Soup also lands 2 clean body shots on Monteneva, which secures the fight for Lavalillies. So far, they have burned 45 seconds of time. For their second attempt, Fruit Salad take the fight directly to Soup through the right side. Soup is able to walk away and then lands a beautiful collateral rail shot that places Salad's DPS line at 1 HP. Liloct follows up, finishing Zythrin, before assisting with the rest of the cleanup, taking Monteneva at the end. The spawn hold is now 1 minute and 20 seconds. Blood Bunny and Liloct set up close for the next fight, while Soup continues to play from afar. I am in absolute love with this play, because the positioning is perfect for playing around Overclock. Salad have to choose between fighting the Junker Queen and Genji in their face, or trying to focus on the Sojourn who's sitting in the back in relative safety. Fuzzy Dough walks out blindly, and she is immediately forced to use her Fortify. After a moment, she realizes that she probably shouldn't have walked and runs for her life towards the spawn. Soup takes her out with a shot to the back, and then Soup is even able to get Zythrin before she is able to exit, so the hold now extends to 1 minute and 45 seconds. Blood Bunny and Liloct set up close again, and this time the speed ring from Monteneva is good, and the aggression from the entirety of Fruit Salad grants some space. Fuzzy Dough uses her Terra Surge, pulling Blood Bunny in, who quickly dies. Liloct does her best to fight in the backline, almost killing Monteneva, but Hostile pulls back to peel. Instinct takes Fuzzy Dough out of the fight, but she's the last member of Lilies left, and with her death, Fruit Salad finally break the spawn hold after 2 minutes and 10 seconds. The issue with that fight was honestly just Blood Bunny holding onto the rampage. She just needed to use it without hesitation. We've worked on ult timing and usage, but it isn't perfect, and that's okay. Improvement is what matters. The next fight is, funny enough, what I consider to be our worst fight of the map. As expected, we get to take another easy guaranteed fight. But instead of making a plan and walking as a team, Blood Bunny just kinda runs it down towards the cart. In the moment, especially from the comms, I could tell that she was just autopiloting, and Fruit Salad definitely saw it too. Hostile immediately walls her off, and Monteneva drops the orbital ray. Blood Bunny only at this point realizes that she has fucked up and pulls the panic rampage. In a professional level match, Blood Bunny would have instantly died and wouldn't even get the rampage off. But at this level, you have a bit more leeway, so she actually survives long enough to use her rampage. Every member of Fruit Salad switches to look at Blood Bunny, and so Lilocked uses their blade with absolutely perfect timing to delete Salad's backline while they were distracted. This was such a good play, and made a winning fight out of what should have been a lost cause. Even better for Lavalillies, they didn't use their orbital, so now they have a massive advantage with only a minute remaining.
We're kind of walking without a plan. We walked without a plan there. It was really bad. And we still won the fight. We shouldn't win that fight. We played that really bad.
Blood Bunny swaps over to Orisa to make it easier to survive Mei walls and Hostile's Blizzard, which is actually a great choice. And here, we take such a solid aggressive fight. Fruit Salad approaches the cart, and then before they can reach the corner, we take the fight first in their space. Instinct's Orbital Ray is perfectly timed, and although Fruit Salad are quick to respond with Rally and Overclock, they couldn't withstand the instant fight win button that is Orbital Ray, losing Hostile early on. With 30 seconds left, Salad are almost out of time, and this is where Tycho, Lily's Brig player, makes a beautiful call. She calls to take a fight early with Rally at the corner, playing first. Instinct drops the ring, and Lily's hit the gas and run Fruit Salad over like a freight train. This fight was a huge moment for me as a coach as well for this team. A few weeks ago, I didn't think that Lily's would have ever gone for a play like this. You never see teams at this level with aggression like this, and this is the kind of fight a top-level team would take. Low-level teams usually just wait at cart and take one more fight around the objective, but Lavalillies were on a different wavelength, and they were exactly where I wanted them to be.
Aggressive play here, so we're gonna rally early, aggressive. Nice! That's what I'm talking about. We ate it.
You didn't use that and you forced the orbital ray out, so you do at least have a winning condition, but look where Soup is playing with this overclock. Wants to put this all to bed. The Blizzard gets eaten!
Oh, not like this. Blood Bunny superstar play with the javelin spin. There was one win condition and Blood Bunny absolutely spat on it. Here comes the overclock. Monteneva noted over here. Knock, knock. Here's Johnny. Soup's coming in to try and finish it off, but you're just caught between a rock and a metal place as Blood Bunny finds the headshots with the fusion driver. Time runs out, and Lavalillies hold strong on first.
Lilies are now on attack, and Blood Bunny is on the Orisa, keeping that adaptation against the Mei. The first fight is extremely close. At first, Lilies have the overwhelming advantage, and Fruit Salad fall dangerously low, only kept alive by Nyx's Immortality Field. Lilocked can't seem to finish a kill, and Tycho takes a really awkward angle and dies for it. Honestly, not sure what she was doing there, but I always respect the flank break attempt. Zythrin is able to secure the fight-winning kill on Lilocked, and then Lavalillies fall like dominoes. Fruit Salad maintained their spawn hold. The second fight from Lavalillies was much better. The issue with Salad's spawn hold is that they really didn't pressure us at all while we walked at them from our spawn. They all kind of sat in the corner and let us walk for free, which made the spawn hold much easier to break. Blood Bunny finds the first pick on Nyx, and after the Baptiste falls, the rest of Fruit Salad go with. Fruit Salad's spawn hold lasted 1 minute, which under normal circumstances would be considered good enough, but in this case probably wasn't going to cut it. For Fruit Salad, it was a complete rush to get back to the point. Fuzzy Dough just barely made it in time to touch, and when Zythrin and Nyx used their overclock and window respectively, Lavalillies were able to kite away. This was solid awareness, and the fact that we survived these two ultimates essentially guarantees that we win this fight. This ties into another important concept I work with Lavalillies on. counterattacks. When you kite an opponent's ultimates, that's really good, but what makes that even more effective is if you immediately use an ultimate of your own right afterwards to punish your opponent's aggression after their ultimates expire. This push and pull between teams is often referred to as ebb and flow. Instead of using ultimates against your opponent's ultimates, you run away from your opponent's ultimates and then right afterwards push back into them with your own. If done correctly, this allows you to get maximum value out of your ultimate, since you aren't just using it to cancel out the opponent's ultimate. Taiko's rally here is an excellent example of a counterattack. Lilies kite the window and overclock, and then the re-engage comes in the form of this rally. Shortly after the rally is used, the rest of Lavalillies pop their ultimates, and Fruit Salad are completely overwhelmed. Lavalillies take map 2.
Out comes the wall. There's going to be an attempt to try and isolate someone. Two manages to get out and grab a mini on the way as well to not tax the healers too far. Here comes the counter push. Taiko moves forward with the rally. Yes, there's a stun, but the follow-up isn't quite there just yet. Just buying space for Soup. In comes the Dragon Blade. Oh, those little supports and backlines. They're so fragile. Thousand-folded steel tears them asunder, and Underill strikes forth at the heart. Lavalillies rising, claim Shambali, and Fruit Salad are going to have to look for even more answers.
From here on out, Lavalillies are on a roll, and they didn't intend to stop. Fruit Salad's next map of choice is Suravasa, and Lilies absolutely crush it.
We win. We didn't even, we used to. Oh my god. That's so economical. Good job. Good job.
And now only two remain from the side of Fruit Salad. Hostile's going to fall, doesn't want to invest, of course, the Blizzard in this fallen fight. And Lavalillies rising, they should be able to claim the point on this.
You need to go. You need to make a decision. If you're playing up, you need to go. Actually, you got an ult out. I mean, I guess that's fine. Counterattack. Nice! Yeah!
Blizzard is actually going to hit pay dirt, but will it freeze anyone? Looks like no one was there. The wall was misplaced. Out comes the rampage. 5 people struck with an anti. It's exsanguination as blood spills onto the ground.
We're just not ulting and winning this fight. Wait. Ult economy is wild, actually. We just won that without actually using anything.
That kind of feels like it's becoming the narrative, is you have this big fight winning ult, but just because of the tempo, you're never able to pull the trigger on it.
You're not touching me, I'm not touching me. Nice!
Huge.
Fruit Salad have one more map pick, and their choice was Runasapi, and they really put up a fight on this one.
Blood Bunny catching up, and remember, that Suzu might well be the difference maker here between these teams. No cleanse available. That's going to be a 2 caught by the anti. Suzu actually pops the overclock, could bleed to death in the midst of all of it. Moving forward now, Kitsune Rush gives over additional attack speed and, of course, movement speed to all to catch onto these slippery targets. Don't want to get too close where I believe the shield is broken, and that means that it's a runway, an opening for Fuzzy Doe to land the ideal rampage. Tries to force them into that room. Big rampage, 4 are afflicted, and Fuzzy Doe doesn't even get to feel their blood leave their body. His life is drained from it first and foremost. Lavalillies cashing the bank. They collect the interest.
Fuzzy Doe really wanted to secure that kill, but Blood Bunny just says, nah, you call an ambulance, but not for me. All right, you're on the clock now, buddy. You've got both your support ults, but you need to try and win at least 2 fights here and maybe make one of them a snowball fight here. Either Blood Bunny's Rampage or Instinct's Orbital Ray, if they're able to build up to those ultimates, could put this all to bed and crown Lavalillies the champions.
Lavalillies rising. They are throwing the bouquet in the air and they are catching it themselves. Our champions here in Rising. And there they are, Lavalillies, undefeated, untouched, unbesmirched, as they only dropped 1 map in the entirety of the bracket. Undisputable champions.
Although Fruit Salad fought Runasapi to the very end, Lavalillies closed the map with a win, ending the series with a 4-0, after only 35 minutes and 35 seconds of in-game time, one of the fastest best-of-7 series officially broadcasted in Overwatch history. Working with Lavalillies was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed working with the team again and getting involved with some scrims after having been out of the competitive scene for a while. Obviously, this wasn't the highest level of play. I did this for fun, and because I thought it would be a good content opportunity. I'm proud of the team for how much they learned in such a short amount of time, and I'm really glad these players got to have their final Rising major be a dominant win and an incredible success. Taiko would end up receiving the MVP reward, and honestly, I think she absolutely deserved it. She's super dedicated, she worked on her game a lot, so I'm really glad she saw improvement and got to show that off in this Grand Finals match on broadcast. Also, for those who might be wondering, our exception player was Taiko. I believe at the time of the match she was around Masters 5 or 4, and she's actually gone on to reach Masters 2 recently, which is awesome. For the rest of the squad, this was likely their last match in the Rising tournament, and it was their last match as a team. They all did a great job, and you'll likely see them in different tournaments in the future. For those who want to know what Calling All Heroes is, it's an Overwatch tournament circuit for minority genders, which consists of cis women, as well as transgender players. There are 2 different levels: Challengers, which is open to all ranks, and Rising, which is Diamond and below with 1 exception player. Tournaments like Calling All Heroes are really important. Throughout esports history, there's been a stigma against playing with anyone who isn't a cis man in a male-dominated scene. That isn't to say that every man in the scene is sexist or transphobic. All it takes is one player or coach or even manager to say they don't want a woman or trans person on the team, and so that's closed doors and opportunities for people who deserve them and are good at the game. There are plenty of CAW players that have gone on to reach new heights in the OWCS, and that includes Hattori, Bun, Scuffed, Z's, Wisp, and plenty more. They've all grown significantly, and they've shown that CAW is worthwhile. Rising is also important as the lower division and is a great safe space for players to learn the game at a lower level, allowing them to work on their gameplay and reach the upper Challengers division. My only critique would be that I feel the Rising division rank limit should be higher, ideally around Masters 2. The gap between Rising and Challengers is a bit difficult to jump right now, especially since Challengers has gotten so much better in a short period of time, so making that jump easier for Rising players would encourage more player growth next season. Either way, the program is great, and I love what it stands for. I cover Calling All Heroes on stream, and I love getting to know the players and their personalities. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitch so you can catch these matches live. That's it for this video. This was definitely different from my normal style of videos, and was a bit of an experiment. At some point, I might try working with another team, so let me know if you want to see something like this again. Make sure to join my Discord, and if you want to support me, check out my Ko-fi. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.